Yo, what's good, y'all? The boy Papa Penny. I'm doing my first live, so you don't have to bear with me. I hope the levels sound good on the mic. Um, I can't see right now. I ain't got nobody looking, so I mean it's cool. If you're in the comments, let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure everything sounds good. I want to make sure everything sounds well. So, like I said, it's your boy Papa Penny. So honestly, right now I'm just gonna be kind of filling things out. Um, I'm in the studio right now, so this is where all the magic gets made. This is where B3 and Yadi comes and Peso Spinnies comes and release music, actually record music. So this is something that's very cool, something that's very sacred in my opinion. It's a space where we create. So because we're creators, and when you're a creator, you got to have somewhere where you can comfortably create because that part is very important. So basically today I'm just gonna be going over certain things that what kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing, what kind of inspired me to run my own label, to run my own music label, has been a dream of mine, and I'm actually living out that dream now, and it feels amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it feels great. Excuse me, y'all. Let me figure out something real quick. But it's something that's very special to me. Something that I've always um wanted to do, and something that you know that's always been on my mind to do, and something that's very sacred to me, in my opinion. So that's all. That's just how it is. Anyway, but yeah. So basically, in this channel, most people, if you're familiar with this channel, I know I have a little over 1,000 subscribers. So shouts out to that. It feels good to finally hit that milestone. It took a while to actually get over 1,000 subscribers, but I was able to achieve that because at one point, um, I mean, I still am, but at one point I was actively pursuing, to be an artist, to drop music, to release music, and I was doing it under my name, San Marcos. So, a few people that subscribe and that support and that like a lot. The majority of the subscribers that came to this channel was people that liked my music. I was doing reggaeton music, music in Spanish, and it was something that I started dropping my first song, I believe, in 2020 during the pandemic, and I was releasing music for a while. So that was something that was very fun, and you know I never say never, so you never know what will happen in the future. But as of right now, as of last year, I wanted to really focus on, my goal has always been to make a label. So I always wanted to run my own label. That was always something that was special to me. So here I am. And it's something that's very trying because it's not easy. It's not easy being successful. It's not easy creating something, especially for people who are entrepreneurs and people want to create their own business. If you're listening, please tell me if my levels sound good, if they sound bad. Um, if y'all can let me know if you can hear me well, if I need to speak up, speak or quiet, lower the volume, that'll be great. So as I was saying, yeah, for entrepreneurs and people that want to create and people that want to support themselves. Okay, sounds great. Perfect. So people that want to support themselves off of the things that they create is something that's very it's something that's obviously hard to accomplish, but it has a great payoff if you put in the work. You have to put in the work, you have to study the game, you have to be a student of the game. A lot of people want to be very successful in something And in my opinion, you have to be a student of the game. You have to study, see what's going on, see what's going on in everyday life, whatever industry you want to be in, whether that's the music industry, whether that's the um entertainment industry, acting, or even your everyday jobs. You want to be a police officer, you want to be a firefighter, you want to be a teacher. You have to study. You want to be a lawyer, you have to study, you have to work every day and get better at whatever aspect of your passion, of something you want to do. You have to study and you have to make that a priority. And I think that's what's missing, unfortunately, in our times now. A lot of people, I'm trying not to move side to side, that could be distracting. A lot of people want things now, and I understand that because you get on TikTok, you get on YouTube, you get on Facebook, if people still get on Facebook. um and you see people become what they call viral. You become viral overnight. People just do trends, people do certain things because they want that fame, they want that notoriety. And most people want that more than money, which to each his own. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Just but not to the detriment of yourself. So you know like I was saying, when you want to create something, it's not going to be overnight. I want to be able to feed my family and my and other people's families with my creation, with my music label, with the funds that come through my music label. That is something that's very special to me and something that I will achieve. I was watching the Grammys last night. I am a big Grammy fan. I'm a big music fan. um I one of my goals in life is to win the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. That is a goal of mine, and a goal I believe I will achieve as long as I put in the work and become an impact on the music world, on the music industry. If you That's something that's a goal of mine. So I enjoy watching the Grammys. I enjoy, watching things that's going on in the music industry. I enjoy listening to new music. Um, that's something that's very special to me because I'm a student and I love to be a part of it, and I love to know what's going on. Um, if you watch some of my old videos, or the videos that I've been posting, it's saying, building my music empire, the Daymar music family empire, because I'm going to build this to something very special, very amazing, as long as I keep putting in the hard work and as long as I stay true to myself and don't ever give up. That's one thing. Don't ever give up. There's going to be times where you're not going to feel great all the time. You're not going to want to do it, but as long as you don't give up, I believe you can accomplish you know anything, anything in the world. So, like I said, basically that's why I founded it. Daymar Music Family, that's the name of the label. Currently we have 3 artists signed. I'll get into that a little more later. But yeah, I just wanted to create it because that's something that's always been a dream of mine, to start my own music label and to run it and be successful, because we will be successful. So if you get in and you get to see us grow, and like I said, I'll be documenting and having videos of the growth, the growth of the label, not just with artists, but with success and notoriety and money and everything like that. Like I said, that's not the end all be all, but that's something that's very important to me, is to make sure I scale this business to become successful. I do want to talk about the challenges that I face. Starting a music label, obviously, it costs money. You have to get your LLC and do everything on the business side and on the tax side, so you can be known as a business in whatever your representative state that you live in. And it shows other people that you're very serious. And I apologize for the glare in my glasses, but it shows other people that you're very serious. In my opinion, for the most part, most people take their money serious. They're not just spending their money on random things. So for you to excuse me, for you to invest in your business, by getting your LLC, by paying for certain things, that is something that's special because it shows that you're very serious, in my opinion alone. So you can take it, you don't have to take it. I'm just giving my view of things. So starting a label, it took money, takes money. You have artists, like I said, I have 3 artists. So as a label, there's certain obligations that we said and we will take care of for the artists that they don't have to worry about. Um, it's a team, it's a marriage. So we need them, they need us. It becomes a perfect marriage, and we all can be successful together. So obviously, financial things is challenging. Also, you're working as a label. You're gonna, to be a successful label, you're going to need successful artists. So that's another challenge. You're dealing with other people. You're dealing with personalities. You're dealing with their moods. Everybody's life is different. Everybody's in a different part of their life. So it would be perfect if their career was the number one thing on their mind all the time, but that's just not the world we live in. We all have family, we all have bills we have to take care of, we all have to work. you know One day, I will have it to the point to where this will be sustaining me, and that'll be the main thing that sustains me is the income that I make from my label. So that's just a few challenges. Like I said, we got 3 artists right now. Our first artist is someone very special to me. His name is Yariray. I'm gonna get into some of his music here shortly. He has an album coming out February 13th. Um, he's very special to me. He's a great artist. He makes great music, and I think he's someone who will be very successful. As long as as a team, we come together, we execute on things that we want to do. Um, like I said, he's releasing great music, but unfortunately, nowadays the music is not just the music. You gotta have something to go with it. You gotta have some good content. You gotta have a compelling story. Um, because nowadays people have with social media, people have access, and people want access to you. They want to see what you're doing every day. They want to see what you're eating. They want to see what you're wearing. The music is, in my opinion, should be one of the most important things, and it is. Um, that's my brother. He's saying can't wait for the show. We're gonna speak. They got a show Wednesday. Our 3 artists going to be featured Wednesday in Deep Ellum, Yadiray, B3, and Pesos Penny. They are going to be performing Wednesday night. I'm definitely excited for that. It's going to be Yadiray's and B3's second live performance. And Pesos Penny is someone that has been releasing music for a long time. So he's a veteran. So he knows what he's doing, and he's already got everything ready. He's locked and loaded, ready to go. I am hoping that one day I get I'm looking at another artist, Penny Hardbody. If he ever decides to come back to the music game, Penny Hardbody, I think that's someone that has a compelling story and a special story, and is a great artist and a great rapper and a great leader. So the music industry is missing him. So whenever he decides to come back, he's going to be definitely one of the first artists that we pursue. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, Yadiray, like I say, he's a great artist. Someone that I'm excited for y'all to hear the album. It comes out February 13th. In the description, we have the link. If you want to pre-save it on Spotify, and also if you want to pre-order it on Even is a site we're using. It's something that will make sure the artist and the label gets paid, most of the money, and it's for the album is pay what you want. There is a suggested price. You're able to pre-order it now, so that's something that I'm very excited about. Yadiray is a great artist, and he works so hard in the studio. I just want to make sure I match his work ethic, because he's someone that's always working. So as the head of the label, I got to make sure I'm doing my thing and making sure I'm getting him where he needs to be. And whether that's, getting more eyes on him, whether that's promotions, whether that's, events and making sure the world sees his talent, because he is very talented. And that's my part. He's doing his part by coming up with the music. I have to do my part by making sure the world hears it and the world sees him. Obviously, he has to do his part on that as well. But as a label, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help out. Another artist we have, B3. Man, this kid, he's not a kid. This guy, he's somebody that I really think is gonna take the world by storm. He's someone that's been releasing music. He was releasing music on BandLab. We have a very special EP coming. We're still working out the details, but we're going to be exclusively releasing that EP on Even. I'm gonna get with him before I announce the title of that EP. But B3 is another one of our artists that's been working very hard, and he's hungry. He's hungry. So thing with B3 is he's attention focused. So when I speak with him, I'm like, hey man, this is where I think you can go. This is where I think you can get. I know you can go higher and you can do better, and you can have whatever you want in this industry, man. You can take over this music business, this music game. We just got to do our part in executing and what we on the things we got to do, and that's where the label comes in, and we are, we're a helping hand to our artists. We're like, hey, want to make sure we get you on this platform. He did Spade TV. He did an awesome job. He performed High Class, which is a song that's very good. And Spade, who was the one that runs the show, he enjoyed the song and he gave us some pointers. He gave us some ideas. But yeah, he performed on Spade TV. I'm also looking to get Yariray on Spade TV, and they also performed with Robles Productions. So, I don't believe I have their Instagrams in the description, but their Spotify pages are in there. So, and their Instagrams are hooked up, linked with their Even page and also their Spotify page. And then our third artist that we have, is Pesos Pennies. This guy is someone, in my opinion, he's long overdue for the success that he's going to have. Long overdue. It's just a matter of time with him. It's a matter of time with him. That guy can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. He makes awesome music. He's someone that I'm excited to work with, someone that I'm excited to showcase his talent. And, I just want to make sure that, I'm doing my part. And like I said, hey, adding fuel to the fire, making sure, I'm pushing him where he needs to go, getting him to showcases where he wants to go. That's my whole goal as a label. But yeah, Pesos Pennies is somebody that, it's a matter of time before that guy pops off. It's honestly a matter of time for all three of our artists. They've been working hard and releasing music. We're getting the content thing together. We're getting the story together to make sure, their story is explained and propelled across everywhere where they can see it and people understand it and people connect. I definitely think all three of our artists, because they're all at different points of their lives. So that's something that's something that's even better, because they all make different type of music, but they all can come together and make songs and collaborate and showcase their talent. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time for all our for all our artists. So, as I was mentioning, like I said, one of my goal was always to run a label, and like I said, I changed this channel to be more focused, the focus to be on Papa Penny and the rise of the channel, the rise of the notoriety, just basically a documentary. Right here is the logo. I don't know if you guys can see it. I might have to get I have it transparent right now. I want to make sure it's visible. But yeah, I started out as an artist, like I was saying. I was doing Spanish music, San Marcos. I had one song. It was called Dices. It got to over 100,000 streams. That was about the furthest I got. As far as streams, that was the most success I saw. But I enjoy working with music, and I enjoy reggaeton music. I enjoy the Puerto Rican culture, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Um, as releasing music, I released music for around 5 years, and like I said, I'm never gonna say never. So who knows? Shout out to my boy Kenji. See him in the chat. Um, Kenji's another artist. He's from, I don't know if Kenji's from New York or is he's in Jersey. Kenji, you gonna have to let me know, man. If you in Jersey or you in New York, he's up there, in the at the Mecca of hip hop. Um, but yeah, he was Kenji. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about Kenji, man. He's in Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. My boy Joe Budden from Jersey. I know people that know me, I'm a huge Joe Budden fan. So, he's Jersey's very own. But, it's Kenji's time. Tú lo sabes, sensaciones. Kenji, let us know when sensaciones, when you drop a sensaciones. Um, so yeah, my boy. So when I first started releasing music, I was doing music under another name. It was Marcos RD XPR. So it was Marcos, República Dominicana y Puerto Rico también. I wanted to showcase, both the styles that I was going for, and it was a long name, so it was a little difficult, especially when it was my first time using DistroKid and everything like that. Um, it was tough. My boy Kenji said Sensacion is dropping February 18th, so we got some good music dropping in these next few weeks. J. Cole's about to drop February 6th. So that's what next week. Is that this Friday? It's this Friday. Cole dropping this Friday. And on the 13th, we got Yariray releasing this album. And then February 18th, my boy Kenji. Man, I got some good music. So I'm definitely gonna be enjoying the music these next few weeks. But yeah, I started dropping songs on SoundCloud, and those songs are no longer up. I have them, tucked away somewhere where no one can hear them. No, yeah, I was releasing music, and I was just getting my name out there. Just it was my first time dropping songs, and I was very nervous. And you already know how it is. If you're a creator in anything, whether you make T-shirts, whether you make music, whether you're drawing or especially especially anything in the entertainment business. I understand retail. If you do retail, you make shirts, you make things of that nature. For the most part, people are very nice in those areas. I mean, if people that work in that area, let me know if y'all experience something different. But in the entertainment business, man, whew, and even in more specifically in the music business, people are mean. People are mean. Hurt people. Hurt people. People had dreams that they had. Their dreams were crushed. They tried to drop songs. And they just either got ran off the internet, or I don't know. I don't know. People are mean. People, they want to be mean, especially in the entertainment business. So you can imagine starting off dropping songs, because at some point you got to release songs. I mean, in my opinion, if you're going to be a creator, you can hold the art to you, but the point of art is to share it with the world, or to share it with, you can share it with whoever, but it's very good to share it. In my opinion, it's very important to share it with the world, because once you let it go, it's not yours. That's one thing about art. Once I create a song, or Kenji or B3 or yariray or Pesos Pennies, once we create a songs and we drop it, because we've all released music, it's out. Now, yes, you have the power to You have the power to take the song down if you want, but I mean, the song is out. So people and music is very subjective. So one person might like the song, one person might hate the song. One person might like the song and not say anything. One person might hate the song and not say anything. Or another person might hate the song and they're going to tell you how trash and how much they hate it. You know, that's just the way it is. But in my opinion, I think that is very important to go through, especially as a creator. It's very important to go through those times. Very, very important to go through, because it's kind of like, it's unfortunate. It's a rite of passage, you know. Um, it's a rite of passage for people to come and say mean things to you in the music business, because that's just the way it's going to be, and that's the way it's always going to be. You're always going to have people speak negative, but like with anything, the positive is what's most important, and there's usually more positive than negative. In some situations, especially when you're in your beginning, you probably do have a lot more negative than positive. But if you stick with it and you work at it, and like I said, you become a student of the game, you say, hey, let me fix my mix, let me fix my mastering, let me, put some money into it, let me switch up my wordplay, then you're naturally going to get better at it, and you'll start getting more positive love. But back to my boy Kenji, I was dropping music on SoundCloud, and I was like, it's good, but I was looking, I'm like, man, I want to collaborate. And there was other songs I was listening to, other people who I don't even remember now. And I sent them a message, hey, yo soy San Marcos, yo hago música también, y I would like to work, and things like that. And for the most part, I never got any replies. But one person who I listened to, it was a song by this guy named Kenji, and it was called Drip. And I was like, man, this song go hard. This song drip. That's my drip. Yeah, it was good. So I was like, man, I'm gonna hit him up, message him, and he messaged me back. He was like, hey man, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm gonna listen to your music as well. And I was like, hey man, let's collab. And he said, yeah. So I remember I sent him a song. I can't remember what the song name was. I think it was Coolin' or something like that. I can't remember that song name, but I sent it to him, and looking back at it, his song was his music was way better than mine. So he yeah, it was Drip. Yeah, of course I remember that song. I remember that song, man. That was I remember, I was like, man, this song go hard. Oh, Familia. Okay, yeah. Yeah, man. So I sent them Familia. I was out of my league, you know what I'm saying? But Kenji listened to it, and he was like, hey, he did his part, and he did a verse for me. And looking back at it, it's been 5, almost 6 years, and we built the friendship of we having friendship ever since then, supporting each other in this music business, because we definitely need the support from people that we cool with. But I'm very appreciative now that he did that, because he could have just ignored it, or maybe no, not right now, I'm gonna let him get a little better at his music, then I'll work with him. He didn't do that. He saw somebody that he took a chance on, and 5 years later we still cool. So I'm gonna have to, I'm definitely getting up to Jersey this year, and we're gonna have to collab in person. So, but that's somebody, you can build friendships in this industry. It's very important to connect with people, because there's other people with similar dreams as you, and there's people that I was cool with that no longer makes music, or no longer in the music business at all. And as we've grown and as we learn, same with Kenji, we've been in it for 5 years, and our music is way different. Well, he still releases music, as y'all know. Like I said, Sensaciones, February 18th. So I need to make sure y'all go listen to that. I'm still around music. I'm in the studio with yariray every now and then. I'm in the studio with B3 every now and then. But my goal was always to focus on the music business, the business itself, and run a label. And now, I'm able to do that. I'm able to focus, because I have 3 artists um, in my opinion, that are way talented than me at making music, at the creation of music. But I think I have something special in the business part of the music. And I think, like I said, it's a great marriage. So, we're gonna get together and we're gonna make this thing happen. My ultimate long-term vision for Damar Music Family is, honestly, like I said, I want to build it to an empire. And that may not mean much now to people, especially now, we're just starting out. We don't have that many listens right now. We don't have that much people watching us. But just like I learned when I was releasing music, I didn't have that many people listening to my music. But as I went on, as I studied, as I got better, as I began to drop music and take it serious, I think people that listen to my music saw that, like, okay, this guy's taking it serious. His music is good. You got to be somewhat talented, or you got to have hard work, and it's amazing if you have both. So I didn't have much of the talent, but I had much of the hard work, in my opinion. So I worked hard to make music, to write songs. It was tough, but it was fun as well. And I love, and I'll always be around music. So you know it's my long-term vision is to become a powerhouse, but definitely sign more artists, definitely become more well known, especially around the Dallas area. That's our main focus right now, is becoming known in Dallas. There are a lot of amazing Dallas artists out right now, and they're doing their thing. So we're playing catch up. But with the roster we have now, I definitely think, you know, I not think I know that, within by this summer, we'll have some motion in the city of Dallas. I'm telling you that now. So y'all can go and put that down. Um, and as a label, a lot of people ask, well, what do you look for in the artist? I look for, obviously, talent, hard work, that hunger, and my main thing is, what do you want from the music industry? What do you want? Do you just want to make music? Do you want to make money from your music? Things of that nature. Um, Creating music is creating art is something that's special. So you have to have a passion for it, in my opinion. And it it's something that has to be special. Is Kenji interested in joining them in music? Kenji's my guy, so he'll always have the support of Damar Music Family and San Marcos and Papa Pin. He always gonna have my support. So um anyway, back to what I was saying, I look for that hunger. And to be honest, I look for the hunger, man. Music, and especially hip hop, it's a sport, man. You gotta be ready. It's not gonna be easy, it's gonna be hard. So, you gotta be ready to take someone's spot. You know, we all got dreams, but I was watching Hard Knocks, and it was featured the Las Vegas Raiders. It was talking about John Gruden, who, he's not viewed in the best light as of now, for comments he said. But one thing he said was, people talk about dreams. Everybody's in the dreams. He said, I'm in the nightmares. I'm trying to be somebody's nightmare. I'm trying to take somebody's spot, because that Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, a lot of people want that. A lot of people deserve that award. A lot of people want Grammys. The Grammys were just last night. We saw Benito. Shout out to Benito. Um, he won Album of the Year, the first fully Spanish album to win Album of the Year, and we're in 2026, and the Grammys been going on for a long time. And he's the first Spanish album to win Album of the Year. That's a huge accomplishment, and something I commend, because Benito is somebody that inspired me musically. Definitely one of my favorite artists of all time. So I'm definitely happy that I get to witness. I was there to see his when he was coming out of Puerto Rico. He was making music and on the scene, and on Instagram. Like I said, everything's documented on social media. Like, these videos will be here forever on my YouTube. So you'll be able to see if I'm a liar or not. In the next 5 years, you'll be able to come back and see this video and say, Papa Penny actually he did something. He's doing good. The label's doing good. Or you'll see if the label's doing bad or the label's non-existent. One or the other is going to happen. That's one thing with time. I am a man of faith. So either, the label's going to be successful or it's not. That's the best thing about success. I mean, I grew up in sports. It's the same thing. The Super Bowl is about to come up February 8th. Someone's going to win. Someone's going to lose. That's why sports is very popular, because there is no tie, especially in the big game. There's no Super Bowl that's going to end in a tie. There's no NBA Finals that's going to end in a tie. There will be a winner and there will be a loser. So same thing for me and my dreams. Either my dream is going to happen or my dream is not going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. I'm going to do everything I have in my power to make it happen. But within the years to come, you will see, you will see if it happens or not. It's the best thing about it. So, yeah, like for artists that we're looking for, man, I'm looking for people that are hungry, people that want to make a big impact in the music industry. It's very important to look at yourself and figure out what you want and say, hey, do I just want to, release music and make money here and there, or do I want to become the best artist out or the top artist and win awards and make money and feed my family? Unfortunately, people have you think, oh, you got to choose one or the other. You got to have either fame or the money. And in my honest opinion, it can be, you can have both. You can do whatever you desire to do. So if you want the fame, go get the fame, go get it. If you want the money, go get it. If you want both, go get it. It's up to you. Don't let nobody talk you out of your dreams and your goals, because you're going to have a lot of people that's hating and a lot of people that had dreams and goals. And since theirs didn't pan out, they want to inflict that pain. They want to inflict that the pain on someone else and try to bring them down. It's everyday life stuff that, I'm not saying anything new, saying anything different. It's a reason why people that are successful, one of the main things they say is, hey, keep working, keep going, don't give up. It sounds cliche and it sounds like, I've heard this before, but it's the truth. Unfortunately, it comes down to either you're going to give up and you're going to give up on your dreams, or you're going to do whatever you can to make it happen. So it's up to you. Like I said, right now, I'm definitely would enjoy artists who are hungry and want to rise to the top, because that's what Daymar Music Family is all about. Someone who wants to join the family, that wants to say, hey, I'm talented, I got hard work, I want to join the family, and I want to become the best, because that's what Papa Penny is all about. I'm about becoming the best. I'm about becoming the top. I want to become one of the biggest labels out there. I understand, it's a business, and you're playing chess, so you got to make moves, you got to be smart, you got to, protect your mental health, you got to make great decisions. But I want to be I'm letting y'all know right now, I want to be at the top of this, at the top. And we all know what comes with it. There's a lot of people that's going to come try to take you down and take me down and speak down on me. There's a lot of artists that are going to come and be on my side, and it may work out, it may not. I don't take anything for granted. The term that I have with my 3 artists is our term. And if we come to a point where where they feel like they want to go somewhere else, or anything separates, it is what it is. It's a business. But I think with my work ethic and my drive and my will to make things happen, I think they'll see the value in being with a label that values them first, and that also wants to see them be successful. So that's just a little little tidbit on me. Like I said, this Wednesday, 10 p.m. We're gonna be in Dallas. Deep Ellum, Yariray, B3, Pesos Pennies are gonna be performing live. I'm excited. I'm definitely I'm trying not to use the word definitely a lot. I'm gonna have footage, and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. I'm excited of what this year, what it's gonna bring. So it's the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. My boy said, man, he should he should have sold my hoodie. You got your hoodie, man. We got, what I'm saying, you gotta let us know, man. Definitely be on the lookout for merch. I'm gonna have a part of the family shirt. Something that you want to purchase, you can purchase, and it just shows that you're part of the family. Obviously, all the other artists gonna have their own separate merch and what they love. Good luck to them with the shows. Yeah, appreciate you, Kenji. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for tuning in today as well. Kenji's always my boy. We support each other, and I'm supporting him to the end, because one day he's going to be receiving Grammys. I'm going to be in there because I'm going to be with him. So it's going to be something that, whenever we become successful, it's going to be something that we look back on, and I'll be glad that we have these moments documented. But yeah, Friday, if you're in the Dallas area, come out, support. I'm going to have footage. I'm going to do videos. I released the schedule. I wanted to do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I want to do a live stream of the sorts like this. Obviously, I work. Definitely. I'm definitely going to hold true to the schedule. Obviously, as things shift with work, the lives might shift, but I'm definitely at least going to be going live two days out of the week. So that for sure is going to happen. And then obviously I'm going to have content. Appreciate you, Kenji. I'm definitely going to have content that we post and that we share. So that was my first live. Hope y'all liked it. The live is going to stay up forever. I'm going to make sure it can be replayed, for the people that didn't have a chance to tune in. But yeah, it's going to be special. This is going to be special. I'm glad that this is being documented. And like I said about the artists that I have signed to my label, I appreciate them. But it's time to work. It's time to get going. It's time we gotta get going, and we will get going. And I'm excited for what we have in store. Make sure you check the description for you can pre-order Yariray's album February 18th from Last Year with Love. It's a special album. It's a great album. It's a great album. Y'all gonna love it. B3, his EP is coming soon. We gotta work on some details. B3, if you're watching, we gotta work on some details. But we're gonna get a release date for y'all soon. So that's all I got today. So y'all have a good one. It's Papa Penny. See y'all next time.